All right, so this last move we're gonna show on this sort of submission stand right here is called a Barataplata, right? So all the plata moves, P-L-A-T-A, they're all shoulder locks, right? They're all shoulder locks, we twist the shoulder. It's some sort of Portuguese term. I'm not exactly sure the like linguistic base of it. I just know there's Barataplata, there's omoplata, there's go-go-plata, there's Tarica-plata. There's a bunch of monoplatas. They all attack the shoulder, or they lock the shoulder while you're choking somebody. So Barataplata, it's gonna be another shoulder lock, right? So this is not the most common move, but I find that it ties in together with the armbar, triangle, omoplata series as like a fourth brother of these moves. That it's just underutilized. It's not that well known of a move. It's not that difficult, and it's super high finishing percentage, right? So we're gonna be back in our shoulder self position. When we're here, a lot of the time what's gonna happen is the person's familiar enough where they know that if they leave this arm here, they're gonna get arm murder, right? They know that if they just pull this arm straight out, they're gonna get triangles. They know that if they keep this arm tight and they come right here, they're gonna get omoplata, right? Those are three very, very common submissions. So what people will do is they'll connect their hands here and start trying to drag their arms both out. And eventually, if they get them both out like this, the hand's just gonna stack me and come into side control me, right? So it's a very common defense from somebody who knows this position well. So we're in our shoulder shelf right here, and Dan gets his hands together, right? As soon as Dan gets his hands together like this, I'm gonna start helping him push his arm out, right? I'm gonna keep my legs tight, but not so tight that he can't escape or think he's escaping. Then this arm is gonna come outside in, boom, so under his arm right here, boom, and it's gonna come, and it's gonna control his hand right here. From this position, I'm gonna shove his hands the rest of the way through my crotch right here, past my legs. So this close leg is, this close hand is past my legs at this point. So I just have his arm trapped in a triangle here. This hand is gonna come and go on my thigh. So I basically have Dan trapped right here, where I'm tight again, and both of his hands are trapped outside, and his elbow is just stuck in this position where it's facing me. From here, it's just figuring out a way to apply pressure on the shoulder joint. From there, all we have to do is push his head and jump it like the opposite direction of an arm bar. From right here, his arm is completely trapped, and I have this sort of crowbar motion with this arm right here. In order to finish this, I'm just gonna grab something on this side, doesn't matter if it's his head, his arm, his leg material, just something on this side to help me come in that direction. This foot's gonna go on his hip. I'm gonna turn myself in this direction. His shoulder is getting open in a direction that it does not want to be opened here. So as I apply a little bit more pressure, he's gonna tap. So I'm moving myself like the hand of a clock here. I'm just going across the mat. I'm not bridging or anything. I'm literally just, my back's flat on the mat, my foot's on the hip. I'm grabbing onto him here. I'm gonna turn like the hand of a clock until I get that tap right there. All right, so here we are. Got our burrito grip, leg lift, elbow to the hip, step on the hip, walk the back, walk the shoulder, control the head. He starts getting his hands together, starts pulling them out. As he starts to pull them out, I realize what's going on. So I go outside in, get this figure four, or this double arm lock, like a reverse figure four into his hands, and shove them through for him. Then I take this hand and put it on my own thigh. From there, jump over his head. So I'm basically in the opposite position of an arm bar. On an arm bar, I'd be on the other side extending his arm. This time, my body's on the same side as his arm, and I'm keeping his arm tight. Grab onto something, in this case his pant leg, step on his hip, turn, get a tap. So the Barataplata is not a super commonly used move, but a super common defense when somebody's in the armbar triangle omoplata situation is to get their arms together like this. And that's all you need. You just need this hand to be below your legs and to weave your hand and get it on your thigh. So they have that crowbar stuck in their arm, and you just rotate it like a Kimura, and end up tapping.